Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I am so sorry I've not posted in a while. I was in the middle of making another YouTube video, but then I didn't get enough footage to actually make it, so I ended up just deleting that one and thought, well, I'll just do this one and just sort of give a bit of a life update on how things are going, because a lot has happened over the past, I don't know, couple of months really. Mainly medically, but today was my first day back at school, term 3, semester 2, so I've had new subjects, which was a little bit nerve-wracking, but I've had psychology. I just need to get through RE and meet my RE teacher, and then hopefully everything will be good again. But before I sort of, get into the boring stuff of life, I did have my 17th birthday, last Thursday, so the 8th of July. I turned 17, which was amazing. I know I sound so thrilled about it, guys. No, it was a hard day, obviously, without mum here, but it was a really nice day. I spent that day with Jay and some of mum's side of the family. And then I had a friend come over for dinner, and she spent a couple of hours just hanging out with me. But yeah, then I had a couple of girls from school come over, and we had a nice roast lamb and veggies for dinner and had a sleepover. And yeah, so we just sort of just had some girl time, hung out, Jay had a mate over. I'd invited him for dinner as well, so yeah, sort of just now just getting back into the new school routine again. It's sort of hard when you've been sleeping until 8-9 o'clock, and now you have to be getting up at freaking 7:15. But anyway, sort of that news aside, medically I've been a bit up and down, mentally and physically. So I have finished up with my mental health service at Lilydale that I was seeing my caseworker every fortnight, and we're working through, different strategies, crisis, they're a crisis service, so obviously, I wasn't going to be there long term, because obviously I'm not going to be in a crisis mode for long term, even though I do have long term mental health sort of issues, I guess you want to call it. I don't know. So they've handed me off to a fairly new, I think they're new. I had never heard of them before, but this other organisation, another mental health service, and they work out in the community. So tomorrow I'm meeting my new caseworker, and they are coming here to have a very first session, meet, sort of, get to know each other type thing, and sort of, set goals and what I would like to achieve and what I would need help with, things like that, which will be awesome. So yeah, I'm sort of a little bit nervous about that, but mentally, I've been very up and down. I've been obviously, I've been missing mum a lot, and it really does take a toll, and people sort of don't realize how much it does. Number of times, many people have said, she's here with you, she's looking down on you, and it's not the same as her being physically here, me being able to physically touch her, hear her voice, see her, I know she's around me. I do feel a lot of energy, some days, her energy around me, it's, yeah. So, I know people, want to try and make things better, but they can't sometimes. It's just best to sit there and, listen and, just go, it's going to be alright, that my feelings are valid. So, and just to listen, it's always the same, usually every time I'm crying it's because I miss mum. I can't change that. I can't, stop the tears or anything, and I honestly don't want to, I've come a long way, that I've been able to express myself in a healthy way. But, you know, at the same time, my mental health has gone sort of down a little bit. Being winter, it doesn't help that it's cold and wet, and I'm all sort of rugged up in bed at the moment. So, but yeah, and then like, you know, that mental health stuff, you know, my anxiety, my depression, you know, I've suffered a little bit of PTSD over the past, you know, couple of like weeks and months, and you know, my disordered eating as well has been a bit up and down. There's been days where, you know, I've like, I guess you would call it a fasting, where I haven't eaten, you know, anything all day up until dinner or something. So, you know, it would be like a whole like 24 hours I wouldn't eaten or something ridiculous, just to cause that conflict in my body. But you know, I've got people looking out for me and making sure that I am eating, and so, you know, sort of, you know, grief, you know, it comes and goes in waves, and you know, so does all the other stuff. So but like physically, so I don't think I have told you guys, but I had surgery done about 2 months ago now, so maybe coming up to 3 months. Yeah, I think it's probably 2 months actually. Because I only had my post-op a couple of, like a week or two ago. I had a laparoscopy done to see if I had endometriosis, or if they could see any cause that's causing my stomach pains and cramping. So I think it was like end of May, early June, I went in to have that done. Now recovery was very tough. Here's a photo of me, sort of I look pregnant, I look so bloated, I was just so swollen. It took forever for me to actually like heal, and even now I still feel like I get really like swollen and bloated some days. So the findings of that, it's complicated. So the findings of that, they did find a spot of endometriosis, but I haven't been diagnosed with the condition. So my gynecologist, my surgeon, burnt the spot, and so she doesn't think it's going to grow back or anything. Now, I've had conflicted points of view. I've had her say that she's not worried about it coming back or me having the condition, where I've had other people say, you know, I reckon you should get a second opinion about that you know, that it will grow back. So I'm just like, just sort of seeing where life takes me at the moment, you know. But otherwise, she's very happy with post-op, and you know, my stitches are out and everything like that. I've just got like little scars now on my stomach, which is fine, like they're not noticeable or anything. So, you know, sort of good that I don't have endo, but at the same time, we still don't have a cause as to what's causing my pain. And like for years, she's always said that's been my bowels, and you know, I've been, you know, on laxatives and all sorts of things, and nothing seems to be working. And even post surgery, like even her burning that spot, like, you know, I still haven't had any relief. I still cramp every day. I'm still in a lot of pain, and it's just so draining and exhausting, you know, to, you know, have fibromyalgia, to have FND, and to have this pain as well. So she said to go back to the doctor and get a referral to see a gastro specialist. So we've done that, and I have to go off for, I think it's glucose, lactose and fructose test to see if I have any intolerances, so like dairy, gluten type, you know, natural sugars in fruits and things like that. because that might be the cause, something's just not, something that I'm eating isn't, sitting right in my stomach, and that's causing the cramping and things like that. So unfortunately when Dad rang up, we couldn't get in until September, so I do have to wait. I think it's about 8 weeks now that I still have to wait to have that testing done, but we are on a wait list, so hopefully it gets pushed forward by a couple of weeks. Just, because I'm so sick of like living in pain. So at the moment, sort of just, pain medication every now and then. It's mainly my back playing up at the moment, but I do whack the TENS machine on my stomach or a heat pack if I'm getting really bad. Again, but yeah, it's just been like never ending. And then I had my FND rehab service follow-up checkup thing. It was like last week or the week before. Just my 3-monthly review, as I call it, just to see sort of how I'm going, and they're very happy with my progress. I have been FND symptom free for months now, so I am very pleased with myself, thinking that this time last year I would have just got out of hospital from having my 3-week rehab, intensive rehab for my FND. So it's been like a year, but I've had a couple of like trips and falls along the way where I've had symptoms for a day or a couple of hours or something. But it's been like probably good 3-4 months now that I haven't had any symptoms at all, and that shows that I've been able to somewhat manage my stress, my anxiety, my mental health. So it doesn't mean that I'm better or anything like that. Like I'll always have FND. It's something that we can manage by managing my mental health. But it can happen at any time, and so but because things were still sort of up in the air with other health things, they're still keeping me on, and I have another check-in in about 3 months time again. But she's really worried about how much I'm sleeping and reckons I'm now sleeping too much. So I take melatonin at night to help me settle and sleep. Usually I'm in bed, or try and have my light up by 9:30. So I usually take that when I go to bed, and then I'll set off within half an hour, depending on when I take it and how exhausted I already am. And I will then sleep through until like my alarm gets off, but then I struggle to get up in the morning. Dad has to really like come in and like get me up, dump the dog on me. It's a real drag to get out of bed in the morning. I'm exhausted. If you let me sleep, I will sleep through until like, say my light's out at 9, I can sleep easily through until like 10. I can get easily 12-13 hours of sleep a night, and they a little bit concerned about that. They think for my age group, being 16, 17, 18, that 8 to 9 hours will be plenty, and that's what most kids would get, go to bed at 12 and wake up at 8 type thing. But not with me, no. And then some days I just can't function throughout the day. Like I can't physically keep my eyes open, that I just have to go and have a sleep. And it's not that I'm bored lying on the couch, I fall asleep type thing. It's literally like I'll be up cooking, I'll come home from school, sit on the couch to do some homework or something, and I'll whack some TV on to keep me distracted, and I'll just fall asleep, and Jay. Oops, sorry, my alarm went off. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I'll like just, easily like just fall asleep on the couch after school, and my doctors have always kept saying to me, you cannot let yourself fall asleep, you need to like keep pushing through until you can go to bed. And I'm like, I know, and I try, I can't help it some days, you know. So, you know, if I'm already sleeping, say, 12 hours at night, and then I'll go and have like a 2 or 3 hour nap, you know, I can easily get 15 hours a day. And they're just like, And yet, after all that sleep, I'm still tired. So, regardless if I get like, you know, 6 to 8 hours or, you know, 12 to 15 hours, you know, I'm exhausted. So, I got a referral to go and see a sleep specialist to have a sleep study done just to see, you know, what's happening while I am asleep. And unfortunately, when Dad rang up, the doctor I was referred to doesn't see patients under the age of 18. So we have been suggested to go back to our GP and get a referral down to the hospital and have a sleep study down there. But then also at the same time, God knows how long that, you know, is going to take or whatever. So I don't know. Well, once, you know, I've settled back into school and things like that, yeah, we'll still see and like go back, and, you know, see my GP again and, sort of get all that done. Just sort of see what's going on. And then next week I have to go back to the dentist. I had my dentist appointment last week, and I have to go back next week to just have a small hole in one of my teeth up here, filled, which will just be fun. It's great, you know. I feel like my whole body and world's just falling apart at the moment. But anyway, so I think that's everything on my end. A lot has happened. Very much a lot has happened, and, you know, so I'm just so grateful that, you know, I've got supportive friends and, you know, Dad and Jay, and, you know, I'm sort of coming round to the family again, and sort of, you know, now that I'm in a better mental health space, you know, I feel like I'm starting to open back up to, you know, old friends, family, you know, sort of getting on with life, going to work, going to school full time. So, but yeah, but it's 9:03. So my alarm did go off to go and remind me to take my meds, and that's usually the reminder to go to bed as well. So I have to go and wash my face and take my meds and climb into bed, and hopefully I'll be out by 9:30 and I can sleep through until I think it's like 6:45 my alarm goes off. Ready for school. So, but yeah, sort of not much has been happening, so unfortunately I haven't been able to post, but hopefully, you know, I might do some, you know, afternoon routines, or, you know, do homework with me or something. I don't know what you guys are interested in, so, you know, sort of, you know, drop down in the comments, you know, what you would like to see, any questions, about anything, you know, those with chronic illnesses, you know, fibro, FND, you know, severe mental health, you know, I'm always here for support. You can always DM me on Instagram. Now I'm not always on social media, so, you know, but I do my best to check my socials every day and get back to people as soon as I can. But yeah, otherwise I hope you have a good evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And yeah, sort of look forward to our next YouTube video.